Yo, back like we never left. As I promised you, we're gonna be in Cologne today, and I swear, as soon as getting off the train, I've seen something that's more impressive than anything I saw in Dusseldorf already. I mean, just look at this thing. This is the Cologne Cathedral. Massive. I don't even know if the video is really showing how big it is, but the Romanesque Gothic architecture of it is just so beautiful. Apparently there's like 12 Romanesque style churches around here, all built in 1100 or 1200, which is a ridiculous number to think about. Like that's a year. Things were happening in that year and they're still standing. Like, that shit blows my mind. I'm about to go check this out. Alright, so this little area right here has a lot to offer. Aside from that beautiful cathedral right there, there's also this place right here called the Museum Ludwig, which very big museum, has a lot of original Picasso works there. Very limited amount of time. I don't really want to spend it being in a museum unless it's like, I don't know, like a chocolate museum, but where they do that at? And I can already tell this town has a lot to offer, so let's roll. You have these very Eurotypical squares where it's a lot of open space but surrounded by bars and cafes where people are sitting out there and drinking and just hanging out. I did go on like one of those free walking tours in Cologne just for a couple hours, and it was very helpful, very informative. Learned a lot about the history of the city. I'd recommend to anybody ever going to a new town, new European city. I think they're pretty common in America now too, but they have really good free walking tours. And you know, at the end, you tip them a little something because they spent like 2 hours showing you around. I learned a lot in a short amount of time, and it was super cheap. Free walking tours, do that. Cologne has a very funky architecture, and not in the best possible way. For instance, one intersection might have a building that looks like a project housing, right next to a building that looks like a cinder block, right next to one that looks like it was built in the 6th century, and it has a beautiful Baroque style. And the last one will be a typical modern style apartment. And it's not very appealing to the eye to see all of them in one place. So if you're a beer lover, you might know the beer called Kolsch. But you might not know that it's originated in Cologne. And at every bar, they just assume you want a Kolsch. They don't even ask what kind of beer. One cool thing is that they come in these very skinny glasses, so it's easy to finish them. So what they do to record your tab is just to take a marker and tally your coaster and how many beers you drank. And once you finish your beer, they don't even ask you if you want another one. They just bring you another one. And the way that you tell them you don't want any more is to put the coaster on top of the beer. So that's important to learn as part of their culture, and they're not just trying to sneak in extra drinks on you. So, apparently chocolate museums do exist. Yeah, behind me is the Cologne Chocolate Museum. It just sounded so good. I'm really hungry, so I'm about to see what that's about. So, let's go find out. Let's go. Really good. The chocolate museum, it was pretty cool. Got a lot of free chocolate, and I ate some pretty delicious chocolate mousse cake. And also there were a lot of kids there, and people told me before, like, you know, this is a good place if you were a kid. And then I didn't feel that way. Like, it really gave you in-depth history of chocolate, and you know, it spread it out by regions like a true museum does with art or anything, you know. So it was really cool. So if you're into that kind of stuff, that's a place to be. But also, if you're into the engineering of things. Like I worked as a process engineer for several years, and I'm still pretty deep into learning different processes in my current job. So if you're into the engineering of things, you'd like it, especially chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? And if you don't like chocolate, it was a good experience. So on the way to Rhine Park, I had to cross this bridge, and I'd never seen one of these love lock bridges before, and it's completely decked out with these locks that I guess you go there with your sweetheart and then you write something on it or whatever you want to and lock it to the bridge, and I suppose you throw away the key, but it's literally like not an inch in between any of these love locks. It's definitely on my bucket list. Yeah, so Rhine Park's definitely more my style. It's after being in cities for a couple days in a row and living in the Netherlands where nature's not at the forefront, it feels nice to be at some kind of park. I mean, even this isn't like incredible by any means, but it's nice. A lot of green area. I got some water, got the whole Rhine River right here. It's a nice spot to relax and it feels good. This is definitely more my style, so look in the future, more videos of me going to places out in nature, you know, more greenery, mountains, hills. Western Europe isn't so great at that unless you're on the south side of it, so we'll get to it, but we're gonna see these cities that's nearby first. It's nice to be out here though. I'm just relaxing for a little bit before I head out. So if y'all saw anything y'all liked, want to see something different, you know, drop a comment below, like it, share it with somebody who you think would like, because that's what it's all about. It's pushing it forward. So I appreciate y'all watching Afrowanders Rhineland. Until next time, I'm gonna catch y'all later. It's your boy.
Thanks for watching and subscribe to Afrowanders.